A University of Indiana at Bloomington professor has racist, sexist, and homophobic views. That's according to the school's provost, actually. She wrote about this in a shocking letter to students, explaining why Professor Erik Rasmussen won't be fired, but the university is taking some action. Some of the views Provost Lauren Robel noted: that he believes women do not belong in the workplace, particularly not in academia. And he believes most women would prefer to have a boss than be one. He has used slurs in his posts about women. He believes gay men should not be permitted in academia either because he believes they are promiscuous and unable to avoid abusing students.
Brooke, can I just interrupt for one second?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Unable to avoid abusing people. How's straight men's track record on that?
Hello.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's unreal how like they can't see things clearly. They're like, oh yeah, gay men have a problem with abusing people. Have you paid any attention to the news at all? At all? Okay, sorry.
One more, that he believes black students are generally unqualified for attendance at elite institutions and are generally inferior academically to white students. Now, these are based on things that he's posted on private social media pages. The letter continues: we cannot, nor would we, fire Professor Rasmussen for his post as a private citizen, as vile and stupid as they are, because the First Amendment of the United States Constitution forbids us to do so. That is not a close call. Now, the provost also acknowledged that, like, because of your identity, you may feel like you won't get a fair shot in one of his courses. It makes sense. And so they're set up this system where he's gonna have to do double-blind grading. And also there's an alternative course so that no student is forced to take his class. She ended the letter saying, we are free to avoid his classes and demand that the university ensure that he does not or has not acted on those views in ways that violate either the federal and state civil rights laws or the university's non-discrimination policies. But my strong disagreement with his views, indeed, the fact that I find them loathsome, is not a reason for Indiana University to violate the Constitution of the United States. The professor also told a local news station that her letter is not true, but that academic freedom should protect him even if he did believe those things.
I mean, first of all, yeah, I agree with you on the LGBTQ plus comment, ridiculous. But does it sound like to me the institution just doesn't want to have a lawsuit on their hands? I would imagine. I'm sorry. Yes, they just listed a whole bevy of reasons why to keep him on citing the Constitution. I get that, but I think anyone in their right mind that has some sort of like wherewithal would be like, yeah, that's true, but there's got to be a way for us to get this POS out of our school, regardless of that. Let's try to find that loophole and make it happen.
I think she's kind of alluding to that. I wanted to ask you about that because it seems like there was a lot in the letter about if he has acted on this, like encouraging, because that's what they want, that's what they need. If he has acted on this.
Yeah, I don't think you need a loophole as much as enforcement. So, look, I think the freedom of speech argument is a mediocre one in this context. Obviously, a huge believer in freedom of speech, but he has a job to do, and if he's not doing it right, because of his views, that's a totally different matter if you ask me. And she's hinting at it, but maybe she's saying we don't yet have evidence that he has acted in a discriminatory way in class. Tenure is probably another significant issue in this matter. But it seems like, here's one way to look at it. You could look back at his old test scores before they were double-blind tests and see, did he systematically score African American scores lower, LGBTQ plus scores lower, women's scores lower? And he could say like, oh, I scored them lower because they're inferior. Good, you're fired. Okay, no, they're not inferior. You made that up. You're an idiot. And by the way, that's another thing. Do you want idiots as professors at pretty good institutions like Indiana University? So I think that they could find a real reason, not like you don't, like I said, it's not, hey, we just don't like his speech. Very likely, they'll have to look at the scores. He probably acted out his discrimination in real life.
Yeah, I do, the tenure, that's fascinating. There's so much of this is fascinating. I saw people online worried that like the slippery slope argument that people of color will start to be punished if they start if your Twitter post can get a tenured professor fired. And so then they're like, what if I say something that's political, that's anti-Trump, and that upsets my bosses? But remember in Alabama with the black dean, associate dean or assistant dean, and he had written like things about police brutality and tweeted those things, and he ended up being forced to resign.
Yeah,
but also there is that professor at Penn, the law professor who says wild stuff and will forever have her job.
Yeah, look, first of all, being racist and pointing out racism are not the same.
Right.
So please, I mean, that's the most important thing. Stop treating them the same. That's insane. But this is not just political opinions. So for example, I don't agree with Trump, but that doesn't affect how I would grade anybody's tests. I would, even if they came in a MAGA hat, I'm not gonna then go like, okay, I'm gonna mark him down. No, you're fair to folks. I hope you are. Any decent person would be, no matter how much they disagree with them politically. But this isn't about politics. He's saying by definition, if you are a woman, I think that you are not equipped for this. And on African Americans, he's the clearest. He says they don't even belong here. Well, how the hell is he gonna be fair to people that he thinks by definition, because of who they are, not what they did, they don't belong there? So I find it nearly inconceivable that he's been fair to those people. Right. I mean, a guy like this monstrous opinions has been fair all throughout. That would be shocking.
I mean, and with that, I mean, bro, on the money, Jake. I mean, boom.
What do we do? We all word for word agree. That's great. Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.